Modern Storage Unpacked. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Modern Storage Unpacked. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Kaylee.
We are going to be talking about something a little bit out there today. We're going to be talking about this trend that's been going viral of people turning storage units into their homes.
Yeah, and I mean, it's probably, I'm sure you guys have probably come across a video on your For You page or seen people try to come up with like hacks of
Like how to get away with it.
living in your storage unit.
How to do it, you know. And I get that. There's reasons why maybe some people are doing it. Like we're totally here for that. But we're going to be unpacking it a little bit today and kind of sharing some details about why it's just not the best idea.
Yeah, and you know, kind of deter you away from trying to do it yourself.
100%. And, you know, we're not here to judge. We do want to unpack it, you know, untended. Kaylee, when did you first see a video? Because I know it's been trending, you know, on TikTok or Instagram Reels, wherever. Like, when did you kind of first see
It has been a few months, but I saw the first one and he blatantly just said it straight out. Like, this is how I live in a storage unit. And just straight up showed the storage unit, showed like, you know, his quote unquote living area, the sleeping arrangements, and kind of how he gets away with it and how much he really enjoys it too. It was definitely a how-to video for sure.
Like the aesthetic's very cozy and secretive and rebellious, you know, and it got a lot of views, man. I've seen that too. And it's kind of comparable in a sense to like other extreme living trends like van life, tiny homes, things like that. The only downside of this one is it's illegal. You can't do it.
It is
like,
illegal,
you're welcome to go try out van life. You're welcome to go try out the tiny home life, but
this is taking it to the extreme.
This is next level.
On an illegal level, because it is kind of, you know, from the video that I saw, he did talk about how much they had to downsize, going from like a normal apartment to I'm pretty sure it was like a 10 by 20 storage unit.
I think it appealed to a lot of the viewers, like in a sense of like affordability. I think when I first saw, you know, videos like that, I want to say it was probably back around 2021, like after the pandemic and people losing jobs and stuff like that. So the economy, people just falling on hard times. And I feel like that really kind of, people were having to go find different solutions for housing because the housing market in 2021 went nuts. I mean, apartments and everything was so expensive. Food prices was expensive. I mean, I get it. It was it was tough to live for a little bit, and you know, it still is for some people. But there are definitely options out there that are not, you know, moving into your storage unit, and making videos about trying to share with other people on how to get away with it because it's just not. We're going to dive into it a little bit, but it's not just illegal, but it's also dangerous to try to do these things. So, but yeah, there was that one particular TikTok that I would kind of describe it. Are we going to like post about it on here?
We'll show like a little clip.
We're going to show a little clip of it, but it's this,
for those who watch us.
It's this guy and I will be honest, it was pretty smart. So when you first open up the door, all you see are just like a wall of boxes like right at the front. So it looks like from the outsider's perspective, like if anybody did like roll up the door, it did look like it was just a unit full of boxes. Because at the front, that's all you see is like floor to ceiling, you know, just boxes. But then you walk around the corner, there is like a little, I guess, split that he made. And it's his whole house is in there, you know, and you walk around the corner, it's just a wall of boxes. He's got a couch, girl on the couch. He's got another couch. I guess that one's for him. He's got, you know, fridge and clothes. And
he had a full on setup dresser with the mirror and everything in there, which again, like that's what a storage unit is for, to put all of the stuff that you don't use, but not to put it all in there and then live live off of it.
Yes, absolutely. And also the guy, I don't know if he intended to go that viral with it, but I mean, it went so viral. I do know that the facility did end up finding that video, and they did evict him. So
listen, if you're trying to pull one over, the first tip, don't go public about it. Like, I think that was his first mistake, was him trying. Obviously, I would imagine he was just trying to get views,
maybe as an additional source of income and things like that.
But don't go online to the public and let everyone do it. But I mean, like, we also need to talk about the fact of, like, the reality of doing something like this. You know, there's a reason why people don't live in their storage units. I mean, one is the fact that it's not even zoned for living purposes, let alone like safety concerns. There's no ventilation. He, in one video that I saw, one person went out and would show you how he cooks dinner. So he would literally just go outside on the facility grounds, kick up his little burner and like make himself soup or grilled cheese. And I'm like, imagine if you had stuff stored there. And like he decided to just, because it's raining outside, he decides to just do it in the storage unit.
Yeah.
And get his burner going. Like, again, so dangerous. There's no real ventilation in the storage units. You know, even though he was saying that the one that he was living in was climate controlled, that doesn't mean that you get to control the climate, like, half of the time.
Absolutely. And, you know, most facilities are 24-hour surveillance, too. They got cameras rolling all the time, so it's not exactly a secret hideaway. And, you know, I did see there was another TikTok in particular about there was a guy who he was actually a previous storage facility employee making a video, and he was like, coming from somebody who's worked at the facility, here are tips and tricks. If you have to live in your storage unit, here's how to get away with it. So he was like literally posting. So I was hearing a lot of stuff, and, you know, he mentioned like, you got to be a ghost. You know, no one can see you. No one can hear you. No one can smell you. Giving, like, that has worked at a facility, giving them tips on like, hey, coming from someone who's worked here, this is how you get away with it. And it's just like, no, because there's safety issues, there's legal issues involved in it. And, you know, I understand that like times can be tough for some people, but this should never be a solution for somebody.
And again, there is no running water. There is no plumbing. So again, if you had a really, you know, messed up dinner that you decided to make, you're pretty much, you know, SOL on that, because whenever that facility closes,
don't be hitting up Taco Bell now.
Yeah, like, I mean, are you not thinking that like you're just gonna try to go out back, I guess?
The guy on the video I'm referring to, he said to make sure you have a shovel with you.
No.
And he said, don't store the shovel in your storage unit because people will smell it and then they'll get complaints. He was giving like all the ins and outs of stuff like that, you know, and it's just kind of crazy. But there are real life consequences, you know, to doing this. Obviously, getting evicted and banned from facilities is going to be your first thing that's going to happen. But you can have criminal charges, trespassing, breaking lease rules. You can have criminal charges against you for this. And you don't need to be dealing with that already when you're, you know, dealing with struggle to find housing.
And too, like, there are just so many things that come into it. I mean, again, it does depend on your facility, but a lot of facilities are not 24-hour access, so you pretty much do get locked in, you know, at a certain time, and you can't leave until someone comes and unlocks the gate, you know, whether that be 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m.,
It's like, you know, we obviously think like, why are people doing this? You know, is it just about content or is it truly about survival? I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. I definitely think so. I mean, there are probably plenty of people who have lived in a storage unit for, you know, a few weeks, few months, who've never posted about it. And it's probably their little secret that will forever keep, which, you know, good for you. But again, like, if you're posting it to the world, you're showing people how to do it themselves. You're giving out tips, things like that. I mean, you're going to get caught. Someone who works for the company, someone who works at the facility is going to recognize it.
Yeah.
And it's just not,
Especially if your video
worth
goes
it.
viral, don't try to expect to just walk into a storage facility
Yeah,
and
guys.
get to rent there. I saw a video
Yeah,
of you.
we're going to fully recognize, like,
Yeah.
the videos that we're referring to full on show these people's faces. So,
Yeah.
like, if you walked into any of our facilities right away, we're going to recognize you. Right away. We're going to be like, hey, weren't
We
you
keep a
that
photo
person?
album in the back of just people who post
Yeah.
about these trends in our
Exactly.
area, and it's like,
Just so
Watch
that way you're not coming to one of our facilities and trying to do it. Again, I do feel like sometimes posting about it can almost like glamorize,
homelessness.
yeah, and like being like, oh, you can just live in your storage unit. Like it's so great. It's so great. But it's not. It does not take place, like replace a house. It doesn't replace like a living room, a bathroom. Again, the bathroom, guys, like
I couldn't do it.
could not do it.
I couldn't.
love my bathroom. There's a reason why I
I
always
have
look
to shower
for
every day.
an
Like,
apartment with 2 bathrooms because me and my fiance need separate toilets.
Okay.
Again, things happen.
Yeah.
Maybe you both eat at Taco Bell. Okay. Again,
I don't want to know
how
what
are
your
these
Taco
people-
Bell did to you. I know what it did to me.
I'm sure plenty of people have stories from Taco
I
Bell.
can't, like, I don't mind going camping, but like, I have to shower at
3
some
nights
point.
max.
3?
3 nights max.
Oh, I,
can't
don't
do
know.
it. Then
I think
need
I
to
might be like a
shower.
one night the next day. I mean,
could
if
do
there's no
3.
like, water nearby, like
I could do 3
like lake
max.
or something to dip off into, at least like put some soap on me and some, like I would, maybe 2 would be my max, but
Okay.
yeah, I gotta
need-
have a bathroom.
I need a bathroom, guys. So
Yeah.
again, these storage units do not come with bathrooms.
My mom always tries to get me to go up to their deer camp, like up at like near Petty Jean, and I don't mind it. It's kind of cute. They have it set up really cute, but yeah, there's no plumbing.
There's no
And
running water.
I don't like the fact that every time I gotta go pee in the middle of the night, I gotta take a flashlight.
Yes.
I gotta take a knife because I don't know
you
what
don't
the
know what's
heck is
out
out there with me, And I feel like it'd be the same if I was living in a storage unit, Like,
Yeah, and then just the again, you could trip alarms. We have alarm systems, so again, there's not supposed to be anyone there after a certain time. And
going to the bathroom always gets you busted.
yeah, again, I don't know how you would survive without having a convenient bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
A convenient bathroom because again, some of these storage facilities are huge, and wherever they decide to put your unit, you are walking. You're walking. It can be a while before
And most
you
of them
even
are in
get.
the office where it's
Yeah.
locked down after the staff leaves. You don't have access to them. I mean, I'm not sure about a lot of the other places, but all the ones I've seen, they're only within the office vicinity. So,
Yeah.
and you don't have access to the office when it's after hours, so you wouldn't have access to those.
Yeah.
But I do think we should talk about, for the people that like this is you're not doing this for content purposes. This is your resort, like what you're resorting to, what you should do instead.
Yeah.
And there are definitely, alternative ideas and resources that you can look into, like legal micro housing communities, co-living spaces,
Yeah. And they're popping up in a lot of the bigger cities. They're really trying to utilize some of these abandoned malls, abandoned like
Really?
commercial estates. I'm a heavy listener to NPR, and they have really been talking about trying to utilize these huge malls that are pretty much empty and turning them into little of apartments and having a lot of co-living spaces where
I can actually picture it.
Yeah.
I wish that they would bring in, that'd be so cool if they like actually kept like, where the food court is.
Yes,
like some
exactly.
businesses there. Cause could you imagine living in like a mall, like where the
Yes.
stores are?
Love it.
Like having like a little
Dream.
house and then go downstairs like, I'm gonna go get some Panda today. I'm gonna go get some Chick-fil-A
Yes.
today.
Well, they've talked about trying to put in like salons, trying to put in PPC, like your local doctor or an eye doctor.
Everything you need is right
everything you
there.
need in there. You look at these luxury apartment complexes and they're, everything that you could ever need or want right here. Well, they're trying to do that, for the public in these abandoned places. So definitely like look at those options. Look at, people searching for roommates. There are Facebook groups in your local towns that try to do roommate matches. Because, I mean, you're not alone. Like your situation is not isolated. There are other people, going through what you're going through. And, sometimes it helps to have a community help you through it.
Absolutely. And especially with how the housing prices, rent prices alone have gone up so much. And of course, pay hasn't gone up that much. Yeah. And the requirement for, mostly it's like 3 times the rent. Most people don't even qualify for a 1-bedroom apartment, much less could afford it if they did qualify. So having that, like a roommate, would definitely help a ton. Just qualifying and B, splitting that rent. It helps a ton, I wish I could split rent with my 6-year-old,
right?
And put him to work,
put him to work. But too, and then there's also, minimalizing, downsizing, maybe you don't need that 4-bedroom, 3-bath house. Maybe it's just 2 people and you should downsize and maybe, look at where you can kind of cut some spend where you can, Yeah,
don't go too big at once, commit to something too big. It's kind of like go to the grocery store when you're hungry. You get way too much stuff that you don't need, and then you get home and by that time you honestly probably go through a drive-through on the way home. So,
Literally, if I do that, I come home with chips and snack foods because I'm like, I want a snack right now.
That's when I hit the drive-thru.
Yeah, and then
on the way home.
I don't think about, I should have gotten stuff to actually make dinner.
Yeah, I'm just getting snacks and stuff. Man, those Snickers ice cream bars will be the death of me. I had those in some Lay's chips literally for dinner last night. But anyways, I think that those are good ideas. And we're all here for creativity. It's okay to be a creative person and for content purposes, social media. But there's just definitely, you can't risk the cost of your safety or freedom because I know we had probably mentioned it in different episodes where there's no ventilation in these units. They're not zoned for living. They're not habitable. And it could be really dangerous. It could be absolutely dangerous. And especially if God forbid, somehow you get locked in there, someone came through and locked, because they don't lock from the inside. They lock from the outside. There's no way for you to lock it from the inside. Or if it is locked from the outside, for you to unlock it from the inside without either having to call the police, exposing yourself living there, or just dealing with it and potentially never coming out again. So just it's not worth risking your safety and your life over, something that there could be alternative solutions for. So
yeah. And I mean, again, there are so many other places that are zoned for living. Yeah. So a storage facility is not zoned for living.
No, 100%. Well, I think I wanted to try something new today. Okay. So before we wrap up, I wanted us to play a little game. Ooh. 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
And we're going to have Kaylee try and figure out. And you guys can think about what you guys think is a lie too. So
yeah, leave us a comment and tell us which one you think was the truth or lie.
Yeah. So they're going to be kind of tied into storage units. So we're still going to keep it,
on brand.
On brand. So let's get started. So number 1, a woman in Florida was arrested after authorities discovered she was running a small hair salon out of her storage unit. Oh. Complete with chairs and mirrors and shampoo bowls. How she filled up the shampoo bowls, I don't know. But yeah, she was running a whole entire salon out of her storage unit. So that's going to be number 1. Bing. Number 2, a man in Oregon converted 3 storage units into a speakeasy style bar.
Okay.
That was only accessible by password. It operated for over a year before it was busted. So, speakeasy number 2.
I'm just wondering when people type in these directions to the hair salon
or speakeasy this past weekend. And
was it in a storage unit?
No, it was not in a storage unit, but it was not anywhere I
would have
guessed. I'll tell you after the podcast because I think speakeasies you're not supposed to publicly disclose it. So sorry guys, it's somewhere on Markham. Anyways, that was a horrible week. We'll replay that. Yeah. Okay. Number 3, In 2021,
Oh, okay.
a TikTok trend encouraged people to try urban camping in storage units, leading to a spike in trespassing arrests across multiple states.
I mean, that sounds pretty
what we've been talking about.
Yeah, true. Wait, you said it's 2 truths and a lie, so only one of them is
One is a lie.
Oh, God.
So we got hair salon number 1, we
Okay.
got speakeasy number 2, and then we got, obviously this TikTok trend leading to multiple arrests across multiple states.
So that one's definitely true. I feel like that one's definitely true. But I mean, a speakeasy or a salon? I'm going to say that the speakeasy is a lie because there's just no way that just
No
like
one
you're
got
telling
caught.
us. Yeah, just like you're telling us that you couldn't just say, "Oh, I went to a speakeasy last night." You'll never guess where it was at.
Yeah.
Public storage.
You're right. It was number 2.
Okay.
That'd be kind of
That's
cool,
crazy.
though. Yeah.
She ran a salon.
Yeah, I don't know how she got
Oh my
the
God.
water, like the running, unless she like brought her own like tank in.
She had to just constantly every single time bring in like jugs of water. Wow.
She got busted.
I mean,
you can't
yeah.
do that. You can't do it, just so
yeah.
you know. So
There's not a lot of things that you can like do in a storage unit besides just
it's just for storing your items to give you like very black and white.
Yeah.
There's no gray into it. It's just for storing your items. Yes, you can come and go and get some stuff out, put some new stuff in, but you're not supposed to be in there loitering.
Okay.
You can't loiter in your unit. You can't work, like if you have a car, you can't, or motorcycle, you can't sit there and work on it. Like that's
wow.
considered loitering. I mean, outside of just like organizing and stuff, you're in and you're out.
Okay,
There's like
you're hearing
liability
it
reasons. There's a lot of things,
for all of those TikTok creators that are literally working out of their storage units. This is a warning to you.
And this is for you. Number 3 was true. People did get arrested across multiple states.
Don't do it. If you see a trend, see if it's legal to do first.
It's like the Tide Pod trend, Did we all fall for that?
Some people did. Some people did fall for that. Unfortunately, it was probably more kids. than
Social
anything.
media will literally be
No, you
the
wouldn't
death
know.
of us.
The one that I
just
think
know
of
it.
is
What?
the Kylie lip challenge, where people were taking their vacuums and putting it over their lips.
The cinnamon challenge.
Where people were sniffing it?
No,
Oh,
when you
okay, then
take
I
a
don't know what you're
spoonful
talking
of dry like cinnamon, a spoonful of like the cinnamon, and you try to swallow it, and it's like all like you end up choking and like coughing out puffs of.
No. Who was it?
What?
Now the Kylie lip thing. I mean, sure, people we want pretty lips.
Cinnamon challenge.
Cinnamon. What? That's like
You've never seen that?
No, but it's like the one where they're trying
This
to get
was like
people
years ago, but
to drink a whole thing of Sprite
and not burp.
and not burp.
Yeah, but anyways, I
These
feel
TikTok
like
trends are not it, guys.
yep. Don't follow everything you see.
Yeah.
Just because your friend jumps off a bridge doesn't mean you got to jump
Yeah.
off.
Even like heck, people would participate in the ice bucket thing.
That's coming around again.
Yeah.
The
Oh, it is.
USC Ice Bucket Challenge, where you nominate people and stuff.
Yeah.
My gosh, yeah, it's like probably these kids nowadays thinking, "Oh, look at this trend." Little did they know I did
Yeah.
this back in high school.
It was
okay,
that's an old trend, but
it is.
Yeah,
but it's for good causes. So I'm glad that it, stuff like that is kind of coming
Mm-hmm.
back around. But then there's just like these stupid trends, like the cinnamon challenge. Kaylee doesn't know what it is. I'm gonna show her after this.
Yeah, you'll have to inform me.
Anyways, guys, don't do it. Thank y'all for joining us. If you guys have, anything else y'all specifically would like for us to maybe cover next, we would love to hear ideas from you. We're pretty, as you can tell, we've done like a broad range of topics so far on our podcast. Like, yeah, where you do gear it towards storage and things like that. But we also want to make it fun. And if there's anything you guys want us to talk about specifically, we'd love to hear from you. Send in your submissions. Make sure you subscribe to us. Check us out at our next Modern Storage Unpacked podcast. And thank y'all for joining us today. Thank you, Kaylee.
Thank you for
joining us
having
today.
me.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next time.
That's a wrap for this episode of Modern Storage Unpacked. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and check out modernstorage.com for more ways to stay ahead in the storage industry. See you next time.